Ćao ljudi, kao što znate danas nastavljamo tamo gde smo prošli put stali. Drugi deo intervjua sa Andrew Tateom. Neću mnogo da dužim, lajkujte, šerujte, subscribeujte usput i pa da počnemo.
His views, like, so outdated. What kind of relationship do you have with your mother?
A good one.
A good one?
Yeah, I take care of her. And also that paradigm, the whole idea that if you find a man who's good with his mom and he's good with girls, that's
No, it was just more because I find that your thoughts towards women are quite disrespectful.
You think so? Why?
This arrogance that you've got.
Mislim da ima sličnosti to kako muškarac ima odnose sa majkom, naravno da ima neki deo kako će se ponašati prema ženama. Nije da je to naravno 100%, ništa nije 100%, ali ima ovo naravno uvod što ga ona pitala u priču sa Tateom malo izokreće, ali zna i on sigurno u dubinoj duši da to ima, samo ne želi da ga obeležava na taj način, pa samim tim i ovako ja mislim i on je reagovao, ali ajde da vidimo dalje.
Tell me I'd actually like to know what I've said so far.
No, I'm just saying it's not, you don't have to say anything, it's like energy speaks volumes, because you're not actually listening to what I'm saying.
I'm listening to everything you're saying. I don't think you're listening to what I'm saying. I'm saying women shouldn't sleep with lots of men and they should fall in love with one man and stay with that man. And if that man takes care of them and ends up across 20 years sleeping with one chick once, you shouldn't leave him. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And the point I'm making is completely valid. And if a woman sleeps with one man once, that's unacceptable. If a man does it, it's acceptable. That's the point I'm making.
Do you just want women to be submissive to you?
I think...
Ne bi rekao da ako žena spava sa muškarcem jednim, da je to neprihvatljivo, ako muškarac spava sa jednom ženom, to se prevari, da je to prihvatljivo. Rekao bi da je drugo naravno neprihvatljivo. Ima nekih žene da će pre žena da oprosti nego muškarac, to je tačno, ali realno nijedno ni drugo nije prihvatljivo, tako da ajmo dalje.
I think in a healthy relationship there's always a leader, whether it's the man or the woman, and I think that in the happiest
I evo, taman, samo da se nadovežem, sad što je rekao healthy relationship, znači u zdravoj vezi ne postoji varanje, to je zdrava veza. Naravno ima toksičnih, ovakih, onakih, pričamo o zdravoj vezi i sad tačno mi je lepo nadovezu se na ovo, znači u zdravoj vezi nije prihvatljivo ni muško ni žensko da prevarijemo dalje. Ali samo zdravih veza ima, daj Bože, 1%. Daj Bože. U najboljem slučaju, samo da se razumemo, pošto ja mislim da jedno 30% veza je u iluziji i da su tih top 1%, a nisu, samo da se razume. Znači top 1% to je, niste ni svesni koliko je retko, tako da, pošto znam puno oko sebe koji misle da su vamo namo, a nema veze s vezom. Ali ajmo dalje, neću dalje da o tome pričam.
I don't think women should be submissive to an idiot. I don't think women should be submissive to any man they meet. And I don't think women should be submissive when they're not rewarded. Right? But if a captain is in charge of a ship, he's responsible for the ship, right? If he's responsible for the ship, he has authority over the ship.
Okay, but it's a woman, I'm not a ship.
Yeah, a relationship. Okay, the ship is a relationship.
I know exactly what this guy's doing. He's just like talking in riddles. Like none of it actually makes sense if you actually listen to what he's saying.
So I think if a man has responsibility and he takes care of the woman.
Tate mi je malo, ja razumem što on hoće da kaže, ali previše želi tu kontrolu da ima nad ženom. Mislim da to njemu proitiče iz tog agresivnog verovanja ili kako to da nazovem. Ja kako znam, on je musliman i mislim da shodno postoje musliman, u stvari tako da se izrazim, pošto je valjda ima godinu, 2 dana kako se prebacio. I mislim da je jedan od glavnih razloga zašto se on prebacio, pored toga što naravno ja mislim muslimanska vera je stvarno jedna od retkih vera koja je ostala, da kažem onako, verna svojim vrednostima i tako dalje, dok su nažalost i katolici i pravoslavci, to jest naša vera, da kažem, podlegli pritisku te kulture zapada i tako dalje. To kod muslimana to jako teško. Na primjer, zašto to kažem? Zato što, na primjer, kod muslimana da dođete u majici, ne znam, sa natpisom na sred ulice da je, sad ne mogu da se sjetim kako se zove, da je, ne znam, Hrist ovakav ili da je njihov onaj, i sad mi stade mozak. Da napišete da je debil, kreten ili šta god, ubili bi vas, mislim, ne bi vas ubili, bi vas prebili do zla Boga. Ako biste izašli kod nas ili bilo gde na zapadu, u Engleskoj, Francuskoj, šta god, da izađete i napišete Hrist je ovakav, onakav, ljudi bi vas možda samo popreko pogledali ili tako nešto, u najgorem slučaju mislim da bi samo bi vas ili bi nešto prokomentarisali, Ali zato kažem, u muslimanskim zemljama to 90% slučajeva bi imali veliki problem. I u tom smislu zato kažem imaju održali su koliko toliko te vrednosti, ali ekstrem taj njihov, zbog čega ja mislim da je on isto, to je jedna od stvari možda zbog čega sam prebacio kod njih, ali drugi je zato što njegov pogled na svet je sličan kao kod muslimana i ima taj ekstremni nagon za kontrolom, da žene budu ispod njega i tako dalje. Naravno, ja razumem njega da muškarci i žene nisu jednaki i tako dalje, ali otišao je 2 nivoa još ispod toga, to jest iznad, da stavi ženu, umjesto da žene budu, na primjer, da banalno sad kažem, ne znam, muškarac i žena da budu nešto ovako, ne znam da se to sad lepo vidi na kameri, tipa to je milimetar neki gde je muškarac iznad žene, ako uopšte mogu da stavim u toj paraleli sa što objašnjavam ovde, on stavi ženu ovako. Mislim, baš ozbiljna je razlika, ne može to tako da bude jednostavno. Tako da sve u svemu, zato ajde da nastavimo dalje.
And make sure that every single facet of her life, whether spiritual, physical, financial, etc., is taken care of, then he should have some degree of authority. I don't see why a man would take care of a woman and have no authority over her while accepting all of the responsibility that's getting played. You're an independent woman, maybe you make your own money, you want to do all these other things, that's fine, fantastic. But if I had a woman, I would say, look, I like that you do your own things, I like that you do your jobs, but let's keep it part-time. I want you to come with me, we don't go here, we don't go there, I'm taking you around the world, you're with me, I'm taking care of you, etc.
Sve se kod njega navodi na kontrolu, da on bude, to je, po meni je to vuče kao, ne kažem kao da je žena lutka, ali vodi se svojim nekim potrebima, kad on misli, kad se njemu ćefne, kad ovo, ne može tako da funkcioniše zdrava veza, jednostavno, možda devojci nekad nije dan, možda želi da radi to što radi u tom trenutku na poslu i tako dalje, ne može takvu vrstu nametanja da ima. Mislim, može naravno nađe devojka kojima će to biti okej, ali to nema koren dobar, jednostavno, kako to da nazovem. Možda on i ne traži dobar koren, nemam pojma, možda je njegova perspektiva dobre veze ovo o čemu on priča. Ja o tome ne mogu da komentarišem, mislim, vrednosti se promene shodno ono što volite, tako dalje. Ima ljudi koji su zadovoljni sredstvima i milijarde i njima je samo novac merilo vrednosti i sreće. Kako bi vam rekao, i sada i oni da vide negde ljubav, njima će to biti, neće je prepoznati, zato što njihovo verilo vrednosti drugačije, njihov sistem vrednosti se promenio tokom vremena i drugačiji. Oni ne mogu da spoznaju neke stvari, jednostavno razumeju samo to kroz pare. I sad da ne navodim 100 primjera, ali zato kažem, možda nashodno njegova vrednost su se promenila u tom smislu da kako on gleda zahteva i gleda ljubav i ostalo je shodno tome što on sad o tome priča. Tako da, ali hajde, idemo dalje.
And I'd expect her to listen to me in return. Why wouldn't she? I'm not going to tell you anything wrong or bad, but if I were to say, I don't like that dude, stop talking to him. I'm her man, not that dude. It shouldn't even be a competition. She'd be alright, cool. Well, why wouldn't it be?
But then if I said I didn't like that woman,
I don't know about that.
this is what I'm saying, it's just a double standard and it's just like a power struggle, like it's about balance.
Like,
you know, and this is the thing, like I feel...
Ovdje je ona u pravu, život je naravno balans, sve je balans i ovdje on opet koristi dupli standard. Mislim, već smo do sad rekli u prvom klipu da naravno da je ceo život dupli standard, ali u ovom smislu mislim da je glupo da muškarac zahteva ženi da ne priča s nekim, a da žena kad kaže obrnuto da muškarac bude kao, ne znam, ovdje se ne slažem za dupli standard.
A lot of women could give you that life and be like, you know what, he can have a girlfriend, there's so many people that are into that.
I'm not even saying, no, I'm not a cheater.
I'm saying there's people that are into that.
Correct. But I'm not a cheater. I don't want anyone to think this is about me. I'm talking about in general.
If you think women sit here and look stupid, like I might think, you know what...
Samo moram rekinem na sekund, ovdje se osjećao obelaženim i sad ja nisam varalica, ne varam devoj, u tom fazonu ne varam devojama, navodno sam se nasmeo na način na koji je to radio, jer se osjećao obelaženim od strane nje sad.
Actually, I'm listening to everything you're saying, I'm agreeing with Mike on it. But then, if you've got me out here looking stupid because you might be in clubs with all these women around you, making me look like an idiot, do you think I'm going to tolerate that? No. When you have men like you have explained, it's as if you're trying to prove a point to the world that you're this great man that has all these options and you're so successful.
I agree.
It doesn't work
I agree with you. If there was a man, which is not me because I'm a one-woman man, but if there was a man who decided to have multiple girlfriends, his approach certainly wouldn't be sitting down and saying it the way I'm saying it. The point I'm trying to make is, I think that the idea of a man having a girlfriend who he loves, and maybe sometimes stepping out, is not nearly as offensive as the idea of a woman having a man she loves and sometimes stepping out.
Kompas, šator, pasoš.
Izvinjavam se sad zbog ovih gluposti.
The other week, and I thought that would have been the best time to be alive. You know, like 2003. Like, you can still call the people you care about if it's a real emergency, but no one's glued to their phone.
Yeah.
No one's scrolling social media. No one's trying to take an Instagram picture. Everyone's just at the crappy party, enjoying the crappy party. Like, if you go to Dubai and you look around the bar, half the people aren't having fun. They're just purely trying to get Insta stories that look like they're having fun. So it's pure like, ha 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 ha. Okay, so I think that a lot of people now are doing things not because they enjoy them, but because other people will think they're having fun, and it's more about creating envy as opposed to...
Ima to pozadinu zašto to ljudi rade, zato što nažalost većina ljudi su pratioci, kako to da nazovem, followeri, kako god, i followeri u smislu da su lako podložni uticaju i prate vođu, kako god to da nazovem, jednostavno većina ljudi ide uz onog što neko priča, uz lidera i tako dalje. I samim tim, jedan od razloga je samim tim tako se oni podležu, vide uspešne ljude ovako i onako, onda žele da prate da oni budu takvi i onda rade stvari veštački, ne bili se uklopili u to i bili tu i ne bili dobili taj odziv kod muškarca ili žene, koga već jure, traže, šta god. Ima pozadinu zašto je to tako. Nažalost je tako, ali je tako. Da je većina ljudi svoja i tako dalje, to uopšte toga ne bi uopšte bilo, ali jednostavno ne možemo svi da budemo najbolji, najintelektualno ovaki, onaki i tako dalje, tako dalje. Jednostavno mora da ima u životu balans, da smo svi inteligentni i ovaki, onaki. Mislim mislim koja sam ja to da pričam, ali mislim da ne bi svet mogo da izdrži, da bi bilo mnogo ekstrema i tako dalje. Ili da ima u životu previše glupih, mislim da opet. Mada, ajde, to je diskutabilno, neću da pričam o tome, ajmo da nastavimo na temu ovu.
Enjoying yourself. If you go on a really fun night out, you don't take your phone out. So when I see someone who went on a night out and took 20 stories dancing and laughing and having a great time, I know they're bored.
Yeah, they're not in the moment.
Do you know what I mean? Because if you really have a great night out, you don't take any stories and you forget to check your phone. Social media has completely and utterly changed the world. It's changed the way that we function, it's changed the way that we go out, it's changed even the places we go. Social media now runs the world. We live in an attention society, and people will do anything for attention because attention is a currency. You can turn attention into money. Jake Paul is not rich because he's a boxer. He's rich because he used the attention he gets and monetized it via boxing. So in the attention economy we now live in, you have to understand that your attention is valuable, especially as a man. And women are out here today trying to extract your attention from you without returning anything. That's what the male-female friendship is. In the old days, man would give attention in return for sex. But nowadays, men just give attention and don't get any sex.
Šta da kažem, no?
It's back.
Mislim, opet ima delom istina, ali opet s druge strane, opet se vrti oko to, dominacije seksa i tako dalje.
And that's what you have to be very, very careful about. Attention is extremely valuable. So, for all the men out there, if you're following a woman and you have zero chance of fucking her and she ain't replying to your DMs, stop following her. Like, when's the last time you truly lived in the moment?
To je za muškarce. Ovo je jako bitno. Ajmo dalje.
I personally live in the moment a lot.
No, but that's a good thing, right? That's a beautiful thing, and that's actually an asset. Like, my brother is very similar to that. But the problem is, if you live very, very much in the moment and you're not on your phone, I feel like, and I can only talk from the masculine perspective, you're not competitive. Because as a man, you need to be doing things, talking to people, making money, moving things. So you have to be on your phone all the time.
Really like how you just delivered what you said. But I just find it crazy how we've just sat and said about people need to live in the moment and that, but then like you've sold courses trying to explain to people how to be like that. It's just aspire for this.
I understand what you mean, but unfortunately, and it's an unfortunate reality of the world, is that it's player versus player. Like if you go to a video game, you play Call of Duty, right? There's 20 people in there, we're all trying to kill each other. And the world is very, very similar financially. I'm not saying we should be out here killing each other, but I'm trying to explain that there's a certain amount of resource and everyone's trying to get it. And I understand your perspective, but your perspective is feminine, as it should be because you're a woman, right? But the masculine imperative and the masculine perspective is you have to understand that life is war. It's a war for the female you want. It's a competition. Every man's trying to get her. It's a war for the car you want. It's a war for the money you want. It's a war for the status. It's a war. Masculine life is war. If you're a man who doesn't view life as war, you're going to lose. So as a man, you have to wake up and think, okay, everything I want, other men want. I have to outcompete every other man to get it. So how am I going to do that? Am I going to do that by living in the moment, ignoring my phone, having a fun picnic?
Do you believe in men's mental health? You are kind of like the problem in society in the sense of...
Thank you.
Ukratko se samo što je on rekao, hoću da dodam što ja volim u zadnje vreme, mi dosta drugara to govori i tako dalje. Ja volim da kažem da je muškarac mora u modernom vremenu da bude predator, ali bukvalno u tom smislu predator. Znam da neki to doživljavaju negativno, meni je predator pozitivna strana, jer nijedan muškarac naravno se nije rodio da zna sve i da zna i o životu i da je ovako, koliko god pametan bio i ne znam nija šta, koliko god podloga ima ispod toga, iskustvo ono što mu treba da bi to mogo da se kockice slože, mozaik, da se potrebi kako treba. Tako da kroz život i kroz razne nove stvari koje radi čovjek, pravi se to. A ti da bi učio nove stvari i radio razne nove stvari, mora da budeš predator. Mora svuda da napadaš, svuda da si prisutan, svuda da čačkaš, slušaš, pipaš i u tom smislu mislim na predatora. Da pokušavaš i razne stvari, lude, prilaska i ne znam, i da se opečeš i da uradiš neke glupe stvari. Sve to deo igre, deo predatora i mislim da to onda čini muškarca, to je podloga da bi muškarac bio kasnije ono što u stvari zapravo šta žene žele od muškarca da bude sposoban u svemu, opet da bude njihov. Zato kažem, moraš, samo da se nadoveže na ovu njegovu priču da muškarac, što on sad rekao, mora da budeš ovdje, onda ne možeš na telefonu i tako dalje, totalno tačno. Ajmo dalje.
Car, women, lifestyle. But it is. This is the problem.
It's not my problem.
I'm not saying it's your problem directly, but I'm saying this is the problem. Yes, all men probably want to aspire for that. But do you see the pressure there is on men?
Completely. It is much harder to be a man than be a woman.
Okay, so what's your thoughts on men's mental health?
I agree. It's much harder.
Mnogo je teže da bude muškarac nego žena, ne bih rekao. Mislim da jedno i drugo naravno imaju svoje strane zašto je bolje, zašto nije. Da sad stavljamo na vagu, moralo, jako to teško može da se izvuče, jako teško. Nije to sad toliko vidljivo, pa da je sad kao stvarno muško je 80% teže nego žena 20%. Nije to toliko vidljivo kao da je lakše biti žena, realno nije. Ja kažem opet kao muškarac, ja opet razumijem o čemu on priča, ali on uopšte ne želi sebe da stavi u situaciju da razume ženske probleme i tako dalje. One su totalno drugačije od muških. Znači za 180 stepeni one su na drugoj krajnosti, tako da...
To be a man than be a woman, which is basically what you just said. Society's expectations of men is much higher than the societal expectations of females. I agree. Much more is expected of us. I agree. It's a harder game. Just like every other video game on Earth. It's a harder game, but if you complete it, you get a higher score. I think that being a top-tier male is the best human experience that any human can have. I think that being a female would not compare in any way to being a top-level man.
Novel, sedmi mantra.
Opet on... u tom smislu se totalno ne slažem s njim. Previše on tu razlaže to na...
But
No, reason why. There's experiences, right? Like women, we can literally carry lives inside of us.
I agree with you, and I'm actually glad you chose that experience because that's the most important thing a female can do, and I agree with you, and I understand it's a beautiful thing because there's no society, there's no world without life. I agree with you. However, I think that as a man, you can build an empire. There's conquest as a man, and I think as a female, it's not quite the same. And I'm not saying this is...
Jeste da ti kao muškarac praviš i tako dalje, ali podloga svega toga da praviš je žena, tu psonene, više, kako je toko, brate, narcisio, da ne uopšte mi nije više, sad sam se ja, ne mogu kažem da sam se iznervirao, ali brate, toliko potencira na toj muškoj, nemam komentara više, iz tom smisla me izbacio iz takta, tako da ajmo da nastavimo dalje, podloga je žena, kraj priče.
in any kind of way that...
Koren je žena, od toga ide sva snaga muška i pravi onda sve oko sebe, gradove, kule i tako dalje.
Disrespects females. I don't want people to look at this and think I'm disrespecting females. I'm not. I'm saying we have different roles. We do different things. And women give life. Women have a very, very important role. Probably the most important role in society. Women are beautiful creatures that do something separate that men cannot do. I think a top-tier male is more unique than a beautiful woman. I think that you get to build an empire. I think that you get to be respected and feared.
Poredi kao glavni i najjači, to jest kao najbolji muški lik je bolji od prelepe žene. Nije rekao top jedne žene ili kao što bi sad stavio da upoređuje top jednog muškarca i top jednu ženu, nego top jedan muškarac i najlepše žene. Ne kapiram ovo totalno glupo
In
poređenje.
a way that women never are. I understand that that's a very, very unique human experience, right? Most men never ever get there. The reality of life for most men,
Možda se nije ni dobro izrazio, ali ajde, neću da se vraćam.
and it's absolutely depressing. I completely understand when you talk about mental
Have you suffered from mental health?
Fuck no.
No.
Absolutely not. Because I understood that as a man, you must build yourself. As a female, you can be born.
But did you not we need to stop going into philosophies and just stuff because I'm actually trying to, I want to understand you.
Okay.
Right. So have you not experienced mental health? No.
Zero.
Okay. So how do you cope with stress and situations? Express your emotions when you're frustrated and when you're stressed.
Good question. And if I'm stressed or I'm frustrated, then I understand it's my time to perform. And I agree that society puts huge pressure on men, and it's time for men to perform. As a man, you either perform or you don't. There's no safety net like there is for females. Females can wake up and say, I don't feel like it.
Yeah, but there is for men.
No, there isn't.
There is.
The men who
Yes,
say
there is.
I can't feel like it cannot compete with the men who do not say that. And it is player versus player. The man who goes to the gym every single day, regardless of how he feels, will always beat the man who goes to the gym when he feels like going to the gym. And it's player versus player. And let me tell you something. As much as you want to sit here and disagree with me, it's women who decide who the winner is. You will choose the man who's in fantastic shape. You'll choose the man with all his money
I
right.
like a dad bod personally.
Okay, well then maybe you're an exception because you're a woman. But in general, we're talking in generalizations because exceptions do not disprove the rule. Females will choose the man who's in fantastic shape. Females will choose the man who's got his money right. Females will choose the man who can fix any problem. Females will choose the man when they can go to him and say, can you fix this? And he says yes without panicking. That's who women want. Women decide who the winner is. Women don't want the man when you come to him with your problems and he goes, oh, I'm too stressed today. Tell me tomorrow.
No.
Women don't want that.
But women also don't want a dickhead.
But having your life ruined doesn't make you a dickhead.
You can have all those things.
Izvinjavam se, nasmijem se kako mu je on odgovorila samo.
But then there's that fine line where your ego gets a bit too much. For example, like you could be very successful.
Da se ne poneseš malo, pošto se on malo poneo, što bi rekli, gdje ćeš zemo, on se malo poneo i sad mu na to upravo objašnjava, malo mu ego iznad više nego što bi trebalo. Ovdje mi je se sviđanje,
You
znači.
can have good looking women that are attracted to you. You can just have all those qualities, but then once you possess that, you then suddenly can go past that line, your ego, then you start to become an arsehole.
I agree with you, but I'm not talking about that. I think that's a separate conversation.
No, I'm just saying, no, I agree with everything, that's what I'm saying, like for me, I agree with everything you're saying, but what I'm trying to argue is that men get successful, they become even more narcissistic, and they just are not nice people to be around.
You're very, very smart.
Thank you.
You are. But you're due.
Sad moram da dodam još da mislim da način isto plus na koji on se ovo komentariše namerno radi tako ekstremno on to može da kaže na drugačiji način sve što priča. Mislim da on namerno radi ovako ove stvari jer mnogo više reakcije izaziva u svetu i samim tim više pregleda, mislim da je više biznismen u tom nekom smislu, da je tako napravio i svaka mu čast za to naravno. Namerno je tako ekstremno, bukvalno deli, ne možete kad pitate nekog za Andrew Tate-a ili imate one koji ga vole skroz ili imate one koji ga kompletno ne vole. Baš zbog tog načina kako on sebe prezentira, kako da kažem, po znacima navoda kao proizvod. I bukvalno u tom smislu je pokazao tu poslovnu stranu sebe, da je stvarno biznismen u tome. Ali ja mislim da sad već kad se osamostalio i dobio te financije koje je dobio, mislim da je treba malo da kažem da se spusti na zemlju, ali mislim da je to sad njega malo ponelo i da ga sad malo ego drži gore više nego što bi trebalo, ali to će, život će ga sam vratiti na mjesto na koje treba ili će ga jednostavno pustiti da poleti pa sam da se opeče još više gore, tako da kako god okreneš, život će te prilagoditi. Ili će da vas opameti, da vas mlatne na zemlju, da shvatite svoje greške, ili nećete shvatiti svoje greške, nastavit ćete da letite i bit ćete u iluziji, kao što je mnogo milijardera i tako dalje, a u stvari su duboko nesrećni. Tako da, kako god okreneš, život učini ono što treba da učini svakako.
Most females do, and you're conflating issues. So when you conflate, what you do is you mix two issues together to try and prove your point.
No, I've just been asking you personal questions,
Correct.
and every time you give me a philosophy
No,
around
it's not a
it.
philosophy.
No, but I'm saying in general, when I'm asking you, I'm trying to get to know you on a level. How does a woman like me get to know a gentleman like you?
Here at this beautiful, nice, civil dinner we're having here, with no animosity at all.
Onima koji su
Izvinjam se za reklame, ne znam ja kako to da...
Men's mental health. My answer was explaining that as a man, you don't have the luxury. Oops, I don't feel like it. You can do
You
it.
can, but sometimes, I'm sorry, I know I keep cutting you, but I'm just, like, because this is the part that gets really frustrating for me, like, men with this mindset that you have, like, I get it, okay, great, you are alpha, you've achieved
It's
all
not
these
about
things.
alpha.
No, but I'm saying, like, you possess all these, it's great, but you are the problem, you're creating this pressure
I'm not
on
creating a
men and
problem.
society, like,
No,
it's so
I'm not
competitive.
creating a
But
pressure.
men can actually, successful men can actually be like, oh, okay, I don't actually feel like it today. Like, they actually
I
can
understand.
take a break and rest at that
I
moment.
understand. My point is that it's player versus player. And if you're a man who's going to constantly give in to mental health problems or mental health trouble, you're not going to be able to compete with the men who don't.
Okay, but can we
That's
validate
it.
men that have that?
Completely. If you have mental health...
So we can't go player, just validate men that have mental health issues.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Men who have mental health issues, I wish them the best in the world.
Okay, great.
But when they come to me and say, and I get this all the time, Andrew, I have this problem, I'm depressed and I can't go to the gym. I say, no, I disagree. You're depressed because you don't go to the gym. If you go to the gym, you might start to feel better, right? I'm saying you can't sit as a man and afford the luxury of saying, I have a mental health issue today, I'm sad today, I'm stressed today, I'm emotional today, I can't work. Because you will lose against the men who don't do that. And the male world is more competitive than you could possibly imagine. And it's the women who pick the winners. So I find it very interesting that a woman sits here to me and says, no, men are allowed to sit around and do fuck all and feel sad. And those are the men they ignore when they DM.
No.
Those are the men they ignore them all.
Evo, ovo je čist primer nemoći u konverzaciji, njegovo dranje, neće uopšte da sasluša što ono hoće da kaže, ono stvari samo hoće da kaže da muškarac nekad može da odahne. Ne da treba u većini slučajeva da odahne ili da leži sve vreme, a on kao konju kad staviš ono na oči da ne gleda levo, desno, ne može da gleda nego samo pravo, muškarac ne može da odmara, mora samo da radi, da je ovakav, da je onakav, da je stalno pod naponom, vamo, potpuno nije tačno, mislim, to, ako hoćeš ideš u ekstreme, da budeš, ne znam ni ja šta, da sad kako si ti, imaš milijarde, najviše na svetu, nije poenta života da imaš 500.000 miliona, bilijarda, biliona i tako dalje. Poenta u ovom svetu je da imaš dovoljno para da možeš da se posvetiš sebi, svom hobiju, svojoj ženi, devojci, šta god, deci, i da imaš dovoljno para da putuješ gde god hoćeš, to je poenta, ne da imaš bilione, zilione, mislim svakako naravno, svako ima nešto svoje šta želi u životu i tako dalje, ne mogu sad ulazim u to, ali generalno pričam, kako se zove, a on ide u ekstreme te i zato ne valja, ona u tom smislu mu lepo kaže, ali ona želi da je sasluša i eto, prezentira nemoć u konverzaciji svojim dranjem.
Actually, can I just chime in here? So, for example, everything you've said, you've possessed, you've proved your point, right? But as a high-value woman, if I respect and love my partner, I'm not putting that pressure. I would say, babe, you know what? You can have a little rest. Like, there are women that actually enable men to process that emotion.
Agreed.
But yeah, so we'll still go back to tomorrow. Okay,
Agreed.
let's go back to work. But there are good women out there that don't put that pressure. I feel like your reality on women is warped because of a certain caliber of women. Yes, it is.
I agree, you're right, but you're missing a very vital point of that story. You're right, but as a high-value woman, before you say to that man, you can have a day off and you're allowed to be sad today, you will only even get with him, let me change that, you will only even acknowledge he exists if he's ignored how he feels 99% of the time before that. Because if he was sad most of the time before that, he never would have got to a place where he could attract a woman like you. The man who works in Starbucks, who's sad all the time, you won't reply to him. Neither will any other female. So for women to come along and pretend they give a
Nažalost, totalno tačno.
About the fact that most men are basically invisible. There is not a female on the planet who's invisible today. You can be a 4, overweight, fat, you'll still go to the club and get attention. 99% of the men go to the club and nobody even fucking talks to them. If they try and talk to a girl, they get blanked and ignored and told to. Most men are absolutely and utterly invisible. This is the truth about masculinity, right? It's very easy for women to sit here and complain about the top 2% of men because I dealt with this guy, he's arrogant, blah, 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 blah. Most men don't even exist. They send 10,000 DMs and never even get read, let alone replied to. So if you just sit here and say, I'll get a G, a big G, a boss, a millionaire, and let him have a day off, very nice of you. I'm sure you would. Yeah. But if a guy who wanted to have days off all the time, he never would have got important enough in the first place to attract a woman like you.
On ne kaže sve vreme, on kaže all the time, ne kaže da sve vreme bude da ima day off, jebeno, uopšte ne sluša šta priča. Tera svoje, šta on misli, to me nervira kod njega. I u tome pokazuje svoju narcisiodnost i svoju bahatost i svoj ego, tako da to mi se ne sviđa, ajde.
And that is the reality. As a man, it's player versus player. It's ultimately competitive. And as a man, you have to outcompete the other men who are prepared to get up and do it anyway. That's how it works. There's no such thing as saying, I'm sad, I need 2 weeks off. Not as a man if you want to be important. Maybe as a chick, you don't want to put more foundation on and be hot again. Great. Not as a man. If you want to be important as a man, you have shit to do. You have duties. This is how it exists. This is how it's always been.
Mislim da je dovoljno za danas. Tako da šta da vam kažem, guys, ako vam se svidjelo, share, like, subscribe, nadam se da vam se svidio moj način razmišljanja, da, šta znam, kažete u komentarima ako se s nekim delom ne slažete i tako dalje, pa da napravimo malo i neku vrstu dijaloga ili nemam pojma, pa da polemišemo o tome, šta god. Ali sve u svemu, eto, to je to za drugi deo, pa se vidimo u sljedećem videu. Bye!